Hi, good day. My name is Thula, and today I'd like to talk to you about a simple tool that I've discovered, and it's called the Transformation Map. Transformation Map simply is a tool that helps us understand the dance between individual and collective. Now, we are all individuals, obviously, but we are all part of collectives. You are part of a family, you are part of a church group, you're part of a club, you're part of a country, you're part of a race group, and so forth and so forth. And so this transformation map helps us to understand the relationship between those two. Now imagine a giant iceberg, and on top is behavior, and below the waterline is the unseen stuff. So the transformation map, basically, if I can take you to my diagram here, at the top left quadrant is behavior. This is where you find the exterior behavior that is measurable and quantifiable. So your skills, your behavior, your individual output. This is what you find in the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner. And then on the right-hand side, the top right-hand side, you find the collective. So the structures, the systems, the collective output of the group that you belong to. And then the bottom part, you find here for the individual, the interior stuff that we don't see. Your psyche, your mindset, your consciousness, your values, your beliefs, which drive this individual behavior. And then, similarly again, on the bottom right-hand side of this map, you find the cultural processes, the shared norms, the stuff that your group believes in that is unseen, that drives the behavior of the entire group. Now, in 1961, President John F. Kennedy was inaugurated as the President of America. And one of his famous words that he said was, "Think not what the country will do for you, but what you can do for your country." In that one statement, he managed to mobilize the whole country to a one singular vision so that Americans were working towards it. And in 1969, the Americans landed the first man on the moon. And so this whole vision translated into individual companies and individuals within those companies. Americans were occupied by nothing but how do we get to this vision? So it's something that happened in the whole country, but it has an impact on the individual activities that each person did in America. If I come home, another example would be a couple of months ago, or a month ago, we had a tragic event of a young woman from UCT, one of our top universities, that was traveling to the post office and was abducted by a consultant in the post office and raped and murdered. When that story broke on the news, the country news, it reverberated throughout the country such that it mobilized women from all across the country to come together in a massive national march down to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. I mean, that one event translated into women questioning their sense of security in this country. So it's an event that's happening in the country, but it's affecting per individual sense of security. So there's a beautiful relationship between, because remember, human beings are not an island. We are social beings, and we're part of different collectives. So what happens in the collective has a way of affecting the individual, and what happens in the individual happens to affect the collective. So think about a time where you feel stuck in life, where you don't know where the pain is, where you don't know what's wrong, but you know that there's something wrong. This transformation map is a good tool to help us navigate those emotions and feelings. For instance, some of the questions that you can ask here in the top quadrant is, what is my measurable contribution to my team? What skills do I bring to my team? What strengths do I have? What are the behaviors that I bring to my team? For instance, one person can reflect and say, you know what, I need to stop interjecting when people are talking and wait for them to finish their sentences. That is the measurable behavior that you can do. On the bottom quadrant, you can as an individual reflect and say, when I'm at work, what is the dominant emotion that I feel? Am I inspired? Am I happy? Do I feel vulnerable? Do I feel? And you can also ask why you feel like that. What are the beliefs that are underlying those feelings? So, and when you do that, it helps you identify the different blockages in your life. And then you come to the systems as well. We can iceberg the system, the collective as well. You can look at the processes. What are the processes that help us achieve our goals as a team? What is our strength? What is all of that? And then you can come also to the cultural, to the bottom right-hand corner. What are the cultural norms? What are the beliefs? What are the unwritten rules that happens in our team? What are the rules of engagement and so forth? And so sometimes the problem is here in the unseen. We may have values on the walls, but what happens here operationally is a totally different thing. And so that's where we can start to question and unpack and address and find ways of. So the transformation map for me is a brilliant tool, and it can help us identify. I call it the emotional map that can help us understand your behavior.